Book him, Dano.
It's been a while since I've seen that intro, and it's so freaking rad. I just love it. And I love what it thinks that we look like, and I just wanted it to make me like fatter with more donuts. So it would be really good. Hey, it's your LAPD besties, Molly Sleuth and Randy Agard here, coming to you on Rumble and YouTube. The chat's already going off on Rumble, so if you got a Rumble account, head over. I've put some special emotes in the chat tonight. I've got a really nice one of Randy doing a little dance. Oh, no, wait, what are you doing? You're shooting. Yeah, okay. That's a good one. And then I've got one of me dancing. It's not really us, but it makes fun of us enough. Hi, bestie.
Hi, Molly Sleuth. Randy Agard, former LAPD or ex-LAPD, former Marine. I just want to thank the chat, as we just be talking to ourselves, and that's not fun. Also want to thank Ben for all of the stuff he does behind the scenes. Huh?
I'm fun. Don't let him lie to you. He calls and we spend like all day on the phone together. Don't even let him lie to you.
4 hours is not all day, but yeah.
Yes, thank you to Ben McMillan for the intro and for the for fluffing us before the show. It's fantastic. Really appreciate it. Gosh, we have like a packed show tonight, so let's see how much we can get to. First, I want to talk about Tish Hyman and an update on her. She's the one from the Gold's Gym that was just over it with the dudes in the locker room. So there's an update on that. And who thought that G.A.T.E was going to make it into the freaking news? I have a personal story about G.A.T.E. Candace Owens has been talking about it, and everybody talking about Charlie Kirk and CIA. So I got a story there. What else are we talking about? Obviously, the Minnesota protests, obviously, and the rabid, crazy media, and the Black Panthers. We're going to talk about their response. Refunding the police, LAPD officer-involved shooting statistics, and also why they're getting into shootings, because I think that's important. And we'll get into a penal code, because there's nothing sexier. So, listen, since you're obviously home doing nothing, just like me and just like Randy, we're going to talk a penal code that you need to know so that you can win arguments with your friends. First, I wanted to read this little. I got an email. Listen, you think you're my only friend? You're not. So you're on notice. I got an email. Hi, Molly. I hope you're doing well. This is, I'll leave his name out of it. We worked together years ago at LAPD. I was thinking about old colleagues recently and remembered that you had moved to Michigan. I did a quick search just to see how you're doing these days, and this email address came up as a possible work contact. Yes, because he emailed me at the fire department, which was like so weird. I just want to say hello. I always thought very highly of you and genuinely enjoyed working with you. I hope life has been treating you well. If you ever feel like catching up or just saying hello back, I enjoyed that, but no pressure at all. Listen, I couldn't have called him faster. He was a P3 training officer at LAPD West LA Division, where I did my probation, but he was not my training officer. Just a cool guy. Such a cool guy, kind of like a 50s vibe. And he's like living the dream. He's not at LAPD anymore either. And it was so cool to catch up with him. He's super red-pilled and he's living the dream. I want to have him on. I just don't know that. I don't think in his current job he even uses his real name. So I'm not going to dox him. But anyway, I just that was so exciting to talk to him. Tell Pammy to get over on Rumble with the cool kids. Oh, is Pammy there? Oh, I got to check out the chat. Sorry, Pammy. Am I missing Pammy? Let me see. Of course, Pammy. Hey, y'all. There's our Pammy. Hi, everybody in the chat. And Rose Thistle Art making it on time. Christmas Miracle. Okay, so let's talk about Tish Hyman, because I'm actually very excited about this. Randy, you and I grew up, we were, default Democrats. YouTube's emojis don't dance like rebels. This is true. This is true. Hi, Rose Sissel.
Hola, Rose.
And so tell us. I mean, you grew up, you were a Democrat, you grew up in Brooklyn, essentially, your adult life.
Yeah. Which part of growing up a Democrat?
I mean, we got 2 hours.
Yeah, grew up in New York. Then worked in LA. So just default. I think if we got sent back to the '90s right now, we'd be liberals. We'd be leftists.
Yeah,
I think
in the 90s.
in the
Like,
'90s.
now we're like fascists, whatever.
Yeah.
No, we're, yeah.
Because you think I don't belong in your bathroom or prison, we're fascists, because that's how that works.
Yeah, you can be in my bathroom, but not when I'm in there.
Well, I'm not even gonna make fun of. I'm not gonna make fun of it. Yeah.
How did I get unsubbed from Randy's channel? I don't know how you did that. I do all the messing around on Randy's channel, but
I'm stuck.
so he's got his like name and then his like channel. So maybe it's like one or the other, because I noticed that like people have subscribed to me as a human. Someone's got to have your 6 on YouTube. That's true, Pammy. You got to hold down the fort. It gets rowdy over there, like all 4 viewers. It's so weird because we have like 1,000 followers and then just like they never showed up again. They all died in a fiery wreck. It's very, very odd. He only has 1 follower right now. Rosasol, that's probably him as a person and not his channel, is my guess. Okay, so this Tish Hyman, I want to call her a chick, but she deserves a lot more respect than that. She grew up in the Bronx, so that's near Brooklyn-ish. I mean, zooming out. Oh, I didn't simulcast it on Randy's channel, Rose Thistle. Sorry, I forgot. It's because I did the stream from my house and not my work at the fire department. I have every freaking thing like already logged into over there, and I don't hear on my new $4 Walmart used Dell computer, which seems to be working. But I did want to say, keep an eye out, kids. Last week I was like freezing up quite a bit, and I have like kind of a fancy camera. So this week I have a $16 camera from Walmart. And so I look very like frosty. I would like to be a little more high def, whatever, so that you know that I'm a real person. But I don't really care. So let's see. I did a speed test. I don't know if those numbers mean anything to you guys. Can you read that, or is it backwards?
It's forward. Speed test, ping 13 milliseconds, download 182, upload 164.
I don't know. When I first got this internet, I think those numbers were well over 200, maybe to 300. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I want to be able to do this right. So if you know of a camera that I should use, and Randy, I'm going to start passing the hat around. I want to get you a computer, like a real boy. Because this phone shit, it's for the birds.
Next month, I'm on it. It's my birthday, so I'm going to get myself a computer.
Really? I mean,
Actually,
I'm not, obviously, we don't have any sponsors, so close your ears. But I got this used on Walmart, and it works, apparently. I don't know anything more than that, but I do know that I haven't had any problems with it. And it was cheap, super cheap. And then if this camera's better, you guys let me know in the chat, or you can email me if you're watching this after the live at mollysleuth@gmail.com. If you've got good camera, recommendations for Randy and I. Understand this. I looked at the Rumble stats this week, Randy. And this show that we've been on air for a year and a half, we are still making a solid 27 cents per show.
Yes. Winning.
It's I kind of love that. So yeah, 27 cents. It's gonna take a while before we buy Randy a camera. But at any rate, I'll float you the camera, dude. But if you guys have camera suggestions, just the freezing thing is really all I care about. And I don't know, probably a USB one. Okay. I just followed a different one. Molly has Sleuth has videos on it. Yeah, I know. It's all a mess. And at least I'm not blurry and freezing up. So my $16 camera is actually better, Rod. Randy, are you an Aquarius?
Yes.
Really?
I'm an Aquarius.
I don't know anything really about.
I actually don't either, but I'm an Aquarius. My sister's a Scorpion.
All I know is that I tell people, yeah. So is what's her face? Charlie Kirk's widow. Yes, your $16 camera is much better. Really? Wild. Oh, my dad is calling me from his cell phone. I can't ignore it. The man is 91 in the hospital. So, Randy, entertain everyone while I go off stream.
Okay. How you guys doing? You know who I am, Randy Agard. So I can't see you guys in the chat. So let's talk about these ICE shootings. So what's going on is, let's start from the beginning. So you had, I don't like doing the sides thing, guys, but let's be real. You got people who believe in the truth, and then you have people who believe in ideology, identity, ego, emotion, narrative, and all that stuff. Those people are able to have two conflicting ideas. Oh, and emotions and ego, if I didn't say that. Those people are able to believe in conflicting ideas. So they can say America's this racist country and not question why you'd let in tens of millions of illegals. They couldn't say to themselves, this racist country is letting in all these people for benevolent reasons. And you and I, well, all the viewers know the reason why they let them in, for cheap votes, power and control, people who you can pay less. So that's why they actually let them in. It wasn't anything good. And they'll actually admit it. Do you want to do those jobs? Do you want to clean the toilet for whatever? And to me, that's evil. You guys are being evil. So let's fast forward. The same people who keep saying threat to democracy are the same people who are like, let's ignore the will of the people, because people voted to get the illegals out. They're not, there's immigrants and there's illegal immigrants, and you call them undocumented or whatever. And if you think I'm heartless and I'm being mean and I don't realize these people, my whole family is immigrants. I'm the second person in my family born in America, and I've had loved ones get deported. And it was under Obama, which they don't seem to care about. Oh, due process and all that. No, it's not due process. So media leans, I think, 80 to 90% left and liberal. So if Biden was doing this, or Kamala, or Obama, which he did, the media wouldn't cover any of this. They were calling him deporter in chief for a reason. So a lot of the violence is coming from the fact that the protesters are running up on these people. I protested all during COVID. Like, I protested a lot. Protest the correct way. It's your, I believe, First Amendment right. So protest the correct way. That doesn't mean running up to ICE and doing all this other stuff. And I'm not an absolutist. I don't sit here and say, oh, you know, ICE, they're just the best and they're just doing everything all correct. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this all started on an evil foundation. And I would say the marriage of stupidity and evil is what's causing all of this stuff. And the end result is the dangers of it. I also blame media radicalization. So if you guys notice, there's this lawlessness pattern. they don't have anything to offer us, so they want to offer us chaos and confusion and all this other nonsense. And Molly's back. How's Dad?
Dad's good. Oh my gosh, it's such a saga. Don't get to be 91. Just like skip over it. He's an old man. And his legs got so totally swollen that he had to go to the ER. And it's a whole thing. And it happens when you get a real weak heart and you start retaining fluid. But he gained 25 pounds in the last 2 months. So he goes to the ER and they tell him, yeah, you're retaining all this water. We have to put you on a water pill. And he's like, oh, but I take the blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, no, remember we had to take you off of that because the insurance, it wasn't, it was too pricey. So we had to take you off of that. My dad's been in the hospital since Tuesday. I'm not sure. I think he went in over the weekend, actually. I think he went in Saturday. And they're going to keep him another couple of days. He's lost like 20 pounds of that water weight, but they're doing chest x-rays. And like when your body retains water, it's not just in the extremities. He's got water in his lungs and all this stuff. And like there has to have been, you don't just take somebody off a medication they need, like find a generic, like don't just send the guy home. Like, anyway, but I think I don't want to cry, but, oh yes, it was last Friday that I talked to my dad. I was at the mechanic. It's a long story. And then Saturday he went into the hospital. And when I talked to him on Friday, and I'm not an EMT. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. I don't even play one on TV. Yes, they don't use remdesivir, and he will not get jabbed, and he will not get a flu shot. Like I have yelled at him wholeheartedly. Thank you, Rose Thistle. So my dad has always had one of those like strained old man voices. He's had it for like the last 20 years when old men get that strained voice. And when I talked to him on Friday, Ben just gave us $5.
Oh, thank you, Ben.
Listen, I just said I didn't want to cry, and now I'm the proud owner of $5 towards Randy's camera.
Thanks, Ben.
Ben, thank you. But when I talked to my dad on Friday, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, but if you said to me that nobody had seen my dad for a couple of weeks or whatever, I would tell you 100% that was not my dad I talked to on Friday. It sounded like my brother. He sounded so young. His voice had so much life in it, and it was like effortless. And he didn't have that strained old man voice. And I don't know, my dad's like at the end of his life, and that just was so nice to be able to hear my dad have such a nice day. He's been a good dad. And I hate it. I hate that people have to get old, and that like old people are just the one demographic in this world that I give a shit about because they have all that awareness that they've lost their ability to do stuff. And they're so freaking vulnerable.
Yeah, they're the one demographic where I'm like, whatever they want, whatever they need, just yes.
You just have to do it. Dude, he's been on this planet for 91 years. Anyway, oh good. Well, at least a little comedic update by Microsoft that needs me to do a privacy update on my used computer. Suck it, Microsoft! Don't call me a crybaby. You fucking started it. Anyway, is there a conspiracy? Oh, hi, Red Bike. About his voice? Dude, I don't know. I asked a paramedic at work just because it really has stuck out in my head. He sounded so young. He hasn't sounded like that for years. And that'll just be a nice memory later. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. It was before he went in the hospital, so he did have a lot of fluid. So Does it coat your throat? I don't know. Just that he sounded good. Okay, let's talk about Tish Hyman. Because she's so rad. So just like inspirational. Tish Hyman is this like badass. She moved from the Bronx. She moved to Malibu. She's a singer. She's a songwriter. And she's good. And she fell in love with LA. She moved there like 2009, I guess. And, you know, she works out to keep her image as like all entertainers do, right? And she's been going to all these different gyms. She doesn't go to a certain one. She doesn't go at a certain time. And she was just like, tranny. Like, what are all these fucking dudes doing in the bathroom? And listen, oh, thank you, Red Bike. I appreciate that. I grew up as a Los Angeles hellion in a pack of drag queens. We all used the women's room, but they were like club kids. They were dressed sort of like girls, sort of like aliens. And we all used the women's room. It wasn't disruptive. Here's what I can tell you. None of my friends were trying to like jerk off in the fucking stall or like touch girls' tits or make them look at their dicks or anything like that, because they were like club kids. There wasn't any sexuality involved in it, but there were guys that would go to these clubs. Now, okay, I went to clubs called Club Fuck, Helter Skelter, Perversion, House of Flesh. Like, I went to some crazy places. It was at Perversion, I think the first time, was like some dude with a full goatee and like the stupidest like Halloween shitty wig and like a Kelly Bundy dress, like comes into the bathroom with us and he just starts jerking his shit in the mirror over the sink while we're like all in there. Okay, it's a club for pervs, but like, bro, take that shit elsewhere. And that's, yes, I'm not a drag queen. I feel like I have enough pictures that I can prove that. But that was the first time that I had come in contact with somebody with autogynephilia, which is the sexual fantasy of being sexual as a woman for a man. Later, I worked at some perv store on Santa Monica called Dream Dresser, which was like pervy clothes and like fetish clothes and corsets and like stiletto pumps and stuff. And you would have men that would come in and look at like certain high heels and then just come over to you and be like 12 and a half. And they would just walk into the dressing room and wait for you to bring them the shoes. They would go in the dressing room for like half an hour just to try on the shoes and look at themselves and probably jerk it. And then they would just leave the shoes in the dressing room and leave the store. They would never buy them. And so, like, as somebody who made commission only, I was always a little bit pissed about that, because it's like, dude, I don't need to be like helping you when other people are paying. But so anyway, so I really have a heart for this Tish Hyman woman, because one, she's a lesbian, so it's a lot more like sinister for dudes to be waving their dicks in your face when like you don't want anything to do with anybody's dick. And so anyway, she like went viral, screaming at Gold's Gym about how wrong it was. And this flippant motherfucker was just like, you know, I'm a woman, I can do what I want, and basically goes back in the bathroom. And then come to find out, the guy is a convicted felon. He absolutely obliterated his wife's face, then took her name while he was in prison. It's a whole disgusting, crazy, true story. But so Tish Hyman goes on this California tour to talk to the California politicians to say, like, this is wrong, and you need to protect women. Like, we have historically understood that bathrooms and dressing rooms and locker rooms have been a place to like keep us safe from like leering eyes and men like jiggling their dicks in front of us. And like, we want to feel safe. And this is not okay. And all the California Democrats, and Tish Hyman is a Democrat, all these California Democrats that are in office right now have said, like, them's the breaks, baby. They're women. They're not women. this is autogynephilia. These guys are actually like coming in to like victimize us. They get off on making us squirm and making us cry and making us leave the space. Like, this is our bathroom. Like, if you want to have another bathroom for like people who just want to go in there and be sexual, the kind of people that she's coming in contact with would never go in that bathroom. The whole point is, and she was seeing him, she goes to the gym all different hours and all different like gyms, and he was always in them, Randy. And to me, that's just like, dude, what do you even do? Like, do you have a job? Like, why are you always in the gym locker room? Like, never working out. She never said, oh, I saw him on the row machine next to me, or I saw him on the treadmill. He was always in the locker room. And so, I mean, besides now hindsight, looking at his rap sheet and understanding this guy hates women and delights at abusing them.
Well, Molly, the issue is, it's not a hatred for trans. It's, you open all of these doors, and maybe it's unintended consequences, but now you have rapists in women's prisons, and you have women. So let's ignore 4 billion women because a tiny percent, and not even a tiny percent, are trans. A tiny percent of trans activists are. You and I work with the trans community in LAPD. Like, we know the truth about the trans community. They're not sitting there, I really want to use a woman's bathroom and I really want to be. No, they want to put on mini skirts and call themselves women. The whole sexual aspect part of it, which the Democrats back. And it's like, when you just have this progressive mindset of a little bit more, it's okay, Molly, I'm just going to put these 5 guys in the bathroom with you. It's okay. That's where people are like, I can't do this with the left anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's like if I went in a bathroom and there's a lesbian at the sink or a lesbian in the next stall as me, I don't give a shit. They're not trying to do anything to me. They just came in there to pee and wash their hands and look in the mirror and leave. Like, there's no problem with that. It's when people want to engage you when you're supposedly like in a safe place. Like, imagine going to a doctor and they want to like start hitting on you or talking about your body or touching you in a different way. Like, dude, that's not okay. This is like the one place where it's supposed to be like business only, and like, that's not okay. So at any rate, so this Tish Hyman, for anybody that watches us from Los Angeles, she's going to be running for Los Angeles mayor.
Oh, good.
And I think it's great. I'd vote for her.
Yeah.
And I mean, Michigan, you don't have to register with a party, but I typically, don't identify with Democrat policies, but she's got it. So I don't know who's going to be running against her, but I think she's really solid. I think she's not afraid to do the right thing. And I think that's exactly what the city of Los Angeles needs, because this Villa Ragosa and Karen Bass, and like, we just had a string of real fucking shitheads.
Well, Molly, you know me, I have a big mouth. So I talked to maybe, I don't know how many people, but 8 out of 10, even in LA of all places, they think like the chat. They think like you and I. It's these extremist politicians get in and they just, we want to push the agenda of the 0.001%. And it's like, that 0.001% doesn't even want it. So I was telling you before the show, I worked the security gig at We Spa. We Spa is where the incident happened, where the guy comes in and he shows his meat and potatoes to a little 6-year-old girl, and the mom starts freaking out. Let's not protect the woman, the mom. Let's not protect the little 6-year-old girl. Let's go with the guy who wants to show his stuff to little kids and expose. Come to find out later, that's exactly what he was doing. So protesters came, and I was just giving LA its props, but the protesters came to protest for the guy that was showing his stuff to the little girl. And what's funny about the whole story is We Spa, a Korean spa, like you go in there and do all get massages and stuff, and they sided with the guy. So there was no reason to come and protest. They just wanted to come protest. So they're on the side of expose yourself to children, expose yourself to women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just this one side of this country, and it's not 50-50, but there is a mass, there's another word connected to mass, like a terminal mass. There's enough people who think horribly like this. This isn't trans ideology. This is trans activist ideology. They're the ones who are like, we don't care what they do to you, Molly. You have to accept this.
Yeah, which is wild because, well, we're going to talk about the Minnesota stuff that's going on, but it's like you've had all these women getting murdered by illegal aliens, but they're protesting for the illegal aliens to be safe. Like, it's just, what is
Oh,
going on?
I want the
And
chat. I want the chat to know something. I laugh. These are nervous laughs. I don't think a lot of stuff is funny. But go ahead, Molly. Sorry.
so I have been to a bunch of those Korean spas over there, and I don't remember, it was on Crenshaw. Maybe it was Western and Pico. There's a big spa there, and it's got a golf driving range, whatever that one is. And I used to go with my girlfriends, and I don't like, if I had a 12-year-old daughter, I still don't think they should be around a bunch of like naked women. I just think it might create like body issues. Maybe it won't create body issues. I don't know. I guess I'm not really solid on it. But I don't know that you should be around like naked people. It might be okay only because, let me tell you, that the women that go to this naked spa, we are not supermodels. You have these like 9,000-year-old Yoda women hunched over in the shower, spitting toothpaste down it. It's, whatever fantasies you guys have about these like Greek goddess women giggling and slashing each other is like not what's going on. We're all like in a circle jerk of pimple popping and whatever. Like, no, we don't do that really, but scrubbing and like sweating and just like gross, and nobody's holding their gut in, and like we all just are disgusting. And that's why it's women only, and the men have their own side by themselves. And it's I like what Circle of One said, is that where did he go? Oh no, it was Rosa Slart. Emotionally healthy men protect women and children. Yeah, emotionally healthy men aren't trying to figure out a loophole to get to the other side of the hallway to go into the women's side. And Yoda women, yeah, listen, I didn't take any pictures. You'll just have to visualize it for yourself. But I'm pretty sure the like hunched out, spitting toothpaste down the that was real. That was like our first time, because I was like nervous because I went with my friend Elise, who was like so beautiful, and I'm just like, I don't know that we have to get naked in there. Like, she's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm like, you don't have to worry about it. Like, I have to worry about it. And so then we go in there, and like you expect it. Like, I expected it to be like some imagery of like some Greek, like whatever, Grecian whatever, with like women like pouring milk down their bodies or something, I don't know. And then there was like just this Yoda lady that was like spitting toothpaste in the, like all hunched over. Like, I have bad posture. This lady was like not even the letter C. She was like a snail shell. Like, it was fucking wrong. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna be okay. Sorry, everyone. Look at this, is why my best friend wrote in my yearbook, "You're kind of funny but gross sometimes," and that was in like 1987. I might find that. If you guys say that I'm not telling the truth, I might have to go find that. Okay, so speaking of my youth, Candace Owens has been talking about GATE, and Randy, when you were young, do you remember getting tested for GATE, or did they not do that where you were growing up?
I don't think they did that, but I can remember GATE for some reason. GATE program, right? Like for school.
Yeah. So GATE was Gifted and Talented Education. And they gave us a test. First of all, I don't remember. I think it was my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Schneiderman, that told my mom I was retarded. So, I mean, yeah. It's so my mom got me IQ tested. I don't even know, like, how do you do that to it? I don't even know how you do that to a 6-year-old. Like, how do you say that your 6-year-old's retarded? Anyway, my mom had me IQ tested, and they gave me not Helen or 300 Dagobah. Exactly. Do you remember the one thing with like the long snout with the lips at the end? She was like the singer, and she had like a bunch of like nasty tits. It was kind of like that, but with a toothbrush and a lot of foam. I don't know what she was using. I collect toothbrushes or toothpaste. There's a lot of foam going on. So I just remember that. And she was like waffle stomping it into the shower. Listen, you guys are off. And so, okay, so my mom got my IQ tested, and I don't know if that was like when I was 6 or whatever. I just know I told you waffle stomping was a Molly comment. No, I only said that because I don't remember making the other waffle stomping comment, but it probably was me. And I don't even remember where that came from, what I saw that I made a comment that it was waffle stomping. That could have been me. I don't know. I don't know what I do. Okay, so anyway, so they get me IQ tested, and I go into this GATE program, and it was a program after school, and it was up in the top right classroom. And this was still, my grammar school was 1st through 5th grade. And this was 4th and 5th grade. I went to GATE. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know why my mom would pick my brother up, take him home, and then come back an hour later and come pick me up. I don't know that I would do that as a parent. I think I would just be like, we're not doing any after school programs. But maybe I'm just not mom material. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for taking me to GATE. But so Candace Owens is talking about this because I guess Charlie Kirk was in the GATE program, and they're saying that it's this program to kind of like find out if you have any like special ESP like skills, or if you can be molded by the CIA to become like one of them or some kind of asset later in life. Let me just say, not only did GATE not care about me at all, we all know that I don't have ESP at all. But I guess I wasn't good for being an asset either. I don't know what that says about me. But I also was a child actor, and nobody ever tried to touch me. Like, I'm not saying that I want to have been touched, just that all these people have these stories, and like, I was almost there. It wasn't. So, but yeah, GATE. There's 2 things I remember in GATE. I'm going to show you one of them. Oh, wait, I can't show you one of them. I don't have a pair of scissors. We had to take an index card. Then they were actually 3x5, not whatever the hell this is. It's 2.5 by 5. And we had to, just using a pair of scissors, no tape, pair of scissors, cut this so that you could drive a car through it. I remember that one. And I remember we did another science experiment with density. We had different colors of water, and when you put a certain amount of salt in each one, you can actually make the glass have striped liquid in it. I remember doing that. This is why I'm not working for the CIA now. Thank you.
Molly, I wonder if the CIA has always known all of these different brain types, like the type of person who can see through all of this nonsense and the type of person who's like, I'm going to go shout at people with guns.
Yeah, like, well, I guess I would wonder what kind of person, if this is true, if the CIA is overseeing Mrs. Bernstein. Yeah, Mrs. Bernstein. Boy, what a bitch that woman was. She was my 5th grade teacher. I never learned to write cursive because I'm left-handed. And she was like, you're not going to need it after this year anyway. Like, oh, okay. And it's like, now I'm 51 and I don't know how to write cursive. I guess it's gone the way of the dinosaur anyway. So thank you, Mrs. Bernstein, even though you're a fossil somewhere. So I don't, like, what do you think, what kind of personality types would they be looking for? What do I not have, Randy?
Well, you know this when they do commercials and stuff and like color coordination, and maybe they're looking for someone who can justify being evil. Oh, it's for the greater good. Um, we want you to betray all your morals and ethics for your principles. Maybe that's what they're looking for out of you. Maybe that's why they hated us so much on LAPD. Like, so you guys are not willing to lie and say that you crashed a car? No, we're not going to do that.
I would say, really, until you got into your shit with LAPD, I was never a rabble rouser. I mean, I had blue hair, I, wore crazy clothes, but I wasn't a rebel, and I wasn't, I was still going with the crowd and doing whatever. Like, I was still very agreeable. And I think when you went through your shit at LAPD, I think that was like the first time that I was just like stood up for it and said, this is wrong. And I think a lot of that was just instilled in me with the LAPD core values, integrity in all we say and do. And you can't tell me that I have to come to work every day and come to work with integrity and then ask me to sign a paper that's a lie. And I don't think I really ever thought that much about integrity when I worked at Dream Dresser selling nipple clamps to some fucktard. They have created this monster.
Yeah, we're the new punk rock, I guess you call it. Like, no, we're not going to go along with your lie. That individual has male paraphernalia, so I can't. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. So I think that's their problem with you. You're not willing to go along with the program.
But I mean, okay, in 4th grade GATE, like I was so moldable. I wasn't a rebel. I don't think that I wasn't the one that was like, we're not going to do 12 angry men over some bullshit. Whereas like I truly believe that Charlie Kirk was not just smarter than me, but like had more confidence in what he has to say than me. And
I don't think you remember this, but when you first worked together, there's a conversation you and your partner had, and you and I had it, and it was kind of like, because it was kind of like, if we see something, we get it. If it's not there, we're not going to do it. And you and I were like, well, what'd you say? Wait, what'd you just say? And you and I have worked with people who are like, oh, I'm going to lie. Oh, whoever runs and is left in the car, that's the driver. And there was a lot of cops who were like, I'm good with that. And you and I weren't. We're like,
mm-hmm.
I remember when we found the weed, you're like, we're booking the weed. And I don't want to say too much, but everyone was against you. I wasn't. You said, what'd they do with the weed, Agard? I said,
I
oh,
don't
they threw
remember
it in.
that.
It was, we were working the Obama something, and it was me and Rio, and I think you and Moran. And we got the weed out of the, it was like a mobile home. And you were trying to book the weed.
I don't remember this call.
It wasn't a call. We were on like a special detail, and we were coming back to the station.
And we found drugs in a mobile home?
Yeah, we found some weed in a mobile home. It was a big thing of weed, and you were like, I really want to book this. And the watch commander was like, no. And I think it was West LA.
This is why GATE doesn't want me. She's smart, but boy, is she dumb. I don't remember that.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
It was such a big incident. They threw your weed in the trash. And you were like, no, I'm booking it.
I definitely don't remember that.
Yeah. It was
yeah. At that time, weed was sort of like, it's still federally against the law, but if you had a card or if you like, and there was just all these like stupid loopholes. And there were cops that I saw on TV. I didn't see anybody in person that were just like stomping out blunts on the sidewalk and being like, beat it or whatever. Like, whoa, if that's evidence of a crime, then you need to go after the crime. Like, you don't warn people for drugs, because then somebody's going to say you stole my blunt and you're like losing your job.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, I don't think I have it, but there was a woman. Listen, I'm just saying, it was one of my peeps. Middle-aged, not particularly attractive, too much time on her hands. And she was chasing ice, and she ran a red light, and she was like doing that like honking and like just being a spectacle. And she ran a red light to stop ice, because like you're
I'm
gonna
just a
stop
mom.
ice. And then they pull her over, and
I'm
she's
just a
crying
mom.
like, oh, give me a warning, please, I have kids, like I have kids, please, I have kids, please give me a warning. Like, bro, you just ran a freaking red light, and now you're gonna throw a temper tantrum on top of it and say that because some dude shot his shit inside your crotch that somehow you get a warning? Like, okay, you're a mom, you have kids, but like, except for the men in the locker room with Tish Hyman, like every woman could have kids. Like, it's not an exemption of the vehicle code. But anyway, she just says, I'm just like, I'm worried about my community. Like, you just almost caused a catastrophic accident about your community, in your community, blowing the red light. Please, I'm just worried about. But so here's the problem, officers, buckle up. You have to give those people tickets. You have to. And I'm not about like hunting for, 4000A1 or all these like little chicken shit vehicle codes. The LAPD didn't put me through the academy and give me a badge and a gun so that I could make sure that they paid their registration fee. Don't care. Not going to pull you over for it. If that's your bread and butter, cool. You're saving America. But when you have somebody pulled over for a dangerous moving violation and they start giving you this kind of attitude, but it's my, I need, me, what do you think that woman is going to do the next time she sees ICE or the next time she sees a fascist? Like, she's going to blow the light again. You have to give them a ticket. I'm going to give you a couple reasons why, and Randy, hopefully you'll back me on this. One, you have to give her a ticket because if it's not a teachable moment, you could be saving her life by putting points on her record. You could be saving the lives of her community that she says she cares so much about by giving her the ticket. Tickets affect the way people drive. Warnings do not. Warning means, oh yeah, mom says I have to be home by 10, but she never even says anything when I'm home at 11. And like, she only yelled a little bit when I was home at 12. Like, if 10 is the limit, you've got to give those people tickets because it is not a teachable moment, and only teachable moments, I believe, get spirit of the law. Now, that's not to say that people, if they motherfuck you, that they're getting a ticket. But this kind of entitlement is going to blow that light again. Now, here's the bigger reason why these officers have to give zero tolerance on this shit. You have somebody who has already like saying, fuck the law, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. It's not personal. But if this girl makes a complaint against you because she already hates law enforcement, she doesn't like what you do for your paycheck. And if she says that officer pulled me over for no reason and violated my Fourth Amendment by detaining me when by his own admission, he didn't give me a ticket, so I must not have broken the law. And I believe that that officer was being punitive. I think that he was being rude. I think that he was being unprofessional. And there isn't a law enforcement agency that isn't looking for these officers to write them up for bullshit. And the only thing that is going to protect you if you get a beef or you get a formal complaint by one of these fine fucking citizens is that you wrote her a ticket. Even if you write her the ticket and she beefs you, even if she beefs you after writing the ticket, you are more protected by the fact that you wrote her a ticket for what you saw her do than if you warned her. Because you're going to have a jury of 12 peers or some woke fucking idiot supervisor at your department that's going to say, well, there's plausible deniability that she ran that red light. Because why would you warn her? Why would you warn her for that if she did it?
So Molly, the issue is ICE had a specific task force, and if these cities were doing what they're supposed to, they're supposed to backfill the ICE agents with local law, because they don't have the numbers to and I get what you're saying. You have to do exactly what Molly's saying, because it's saved us before. I got a beef. We pulled over a car full of, we didn't know who was in the car, super tinted windows, and they said, oh, they pulled us over because I'm black. Last I checked. So the lady interviewing us, the IA investigator, she's like, well, it does help that you wrote them a ticket. And I go, oh, why is that? And she said everything Molly just said, which was, if you had just pulled them over, it looks like you're, and I said, well, the tinted windows and all that stuff. And she said, it's not about common sense or reality. It's about, this is what it is, and you have to go with what it is. So for me, I think they should have written her a ticket. The thing is, there's not enough of these ICE agents. And here's what these morons are doing, like you've been saying. You're making more ICE agents. You're giving normal people voted for all of this stuff. They don't want criminal aliens here. Because the thing with the left is, dude, okay, cool. There's a bunch of illegals here. All right, it is what it is. When they start murdering people and raping women, and you're like, oh, don't kick them out. That's when we're like, all right, enough. Just everybody out. Everybody out. It's like your mom. She comes home, you're having a party, one person's drinking, and you tell your mom, all right, mom, I'm going to kick this person out. Your mom looks at you and you're like, well, I'm not kicking anybody out of the party. They can drink. We're 16 years old. We can do what we want. Then your mom's like, I'm shutting the party off. Turn the music off. Everybody go home. And I think that's what's happening in America. Like, you don't get to steal $9 billion, murder people, rape people. People are like, no, get out. And here's my last point. When my groceries and my rent is super expensive, I don't care what you have going on in whatever country you came from. Take care of me first, and then we can save the rest of the world.
Yeah, well, speaking of the missing money, I guess California just came out that Newsom, state of California, is missing just $76 billion. I'm sure it's somewhere in a couch cushion somewhere. $76 billion. And then you look at the governor, who makes like $150,000 a year, living in a $9 million mansion. Well, he cut everybody's water off. He's growing an entire Great Wall of China of bamboo, which is a very thirsty plant. And he owns a vineyard. Maybe a couple pennies that went over there.
Molly in the chat, do you guys remember when I was having blackouts maybe every other episode? I know Molly remembers. Oh, why is he outside in the dark?
Yeah.
That $76 billion definitely didn't go towards my lights.
Yeah. Red Bike says, get out and take your sibling spouse with you. Randy, listen, Red Bike, I've been trying to get Randy to move out of fucking California since the nanosecond I moved out of California. He won't come with me. I've got a perfectly good guest room for him, too. Okay. So, yes, let's get on to Minnesota. But I do have some OIS stats. And maybe I start there. But, first, as a palate cleanser, Temu gave me this in my algorithm this week. Apparently, I need to buy that. I don't really know. Thanks, Temu. Appreciate that. What?
I don't know what just happened.
It's algorithms, and apparently they think that I need like old men in diapers. And the thing is, they're adult diapers, but if you go and you look at them, they're all like dinosaurs and starry nights and little alligators and tiny little like turtle babies and all this stuff. And it's like clearly for pervs, because a normal person doesn't want little like dinos all over their dick when they're my dad's age.
That means two things.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's first talk about the penal code, because I'll be quick. We talked about it a little bit last week with lynching. Although they did take the word lynching out of the law, I really think that they need to add it back in, because personally, I just feel that more leftists need to have lynching on their rap sheet. Because we've got a few of these this week that were arrested for this. In California, they call it 405A, which is lynching, which is a person who participates in the taking by means of a riot of another person from the lawful custody of a police officer. It's guilty of a felony, and it's imprisonment up to 4 years. So lynching, taking a person from the lawful custody of a peace officer. They decided in 2015 to remove the term lynching because it doesn't sound good, but it doesn't look good either. Like, that person's under arrest. Get the fuck out of the way. So, okay. This guy, I'm going to go into this guy. Because he was essentially lynching. There's a protest. I'm sure you guys have seen it. This girl gets arrested. He jumps in and tries to attack ICE. He's got a big fat megaphone in his hand. And he's... Where is it? No. Hold on. I've got all my assholes in a different pile. Oh, here we go. So, trying to keep it organized, but so he's like running up the stairs, charging at the cops with a megaphone in his hand, and they're arresting her and taking her away up the set of stairs. He's running up the set of stairs. Officer is on some kind of like beanbag, projectile, whatever he's on, some less lethal. And he comes up and he shoots at the crowd and he gets this fucker in his eye. I'm sure you guys have seen it. There was a whole thing. Dino Dick and Yoda Lady, you're on a roll. You know what? I just like that all of my references are like pre-1986. I peaked early. What can I say? So anyway, I was looking into this kid. I was watching his video. And the news comes over to his house. So he got it in the eye. And I guess there was shrapnel in his eye, and it looks like shit. But you know where you wouldn't get shrapnel in your eye? Sitting on your goddamn couch watching fucking TV. I'm just saying. So you decided to charge the police, and you're running, they're running. You can't decide where they're going to shoot you. So you can't say that these people are violent and unhinged and doing lawless, crazy stuff, and then try to attack them and then be like, oh my God, I can't believe they hit me where I didn't want to be hit. Like, bro, first of all, the guy's like running backwards and you're running up at him. You're armed with a megaphone, which can cause serious bodily injury. They don't have any space. You're like right up on them. So the cops didn't have any space to be able to like get away from him. And they're arresting this girl lawfully. So anyway, I ran it yesterday. And yesterday, okay, so this ICE protester, of course, every one of these motherfuckers is getting a payday, Randy. Every one of them. Listen, you and I, let's go to a protest. We're taking Rod with us. We need some cash. I volunteer as tribute. I will get, here, I got this picture. I volunteer as tribute. Oh, wait, is that the wrong movie? Whatever. Anyway, it's a picture of Candace. to get shot in the eyeball. Sure, why not? I have 2. That means I have spare. Okay. So a couple days ago, he had $49,000, and they're saying that he's almost there because he needs $70,000 for being shot in the eye because he's attacking ICE. You guys donate money to me. I'm attacking ICE. I need $70,000. Well, I ran it just before the show, and now he's got almost $110,000, and now they've raised the max. Now he needs $150,000 because he already made the goal that they set, that $70,000 that he needed. Now he needs $150,000, and no doubt once he gets closer to that $150,000, he'll be needing more. Okay, now at the bottom you'll see that it's run by some girl. It's some organization called Dare to Struggle SoCal, whatever the hell that is. And this girl, Sarah Gallimore. Well, right there, oh, it doesn't show it right there. But here's Sarah's profile on GoFundMe. I forget what American that guy is. He's a really good American. Oh, wait, no, he's not. So anyway, Sarah is running it. And so she puts on the GoFundMe that hundreds of protesters gathered outside the federal building in Santa Ana to protest the ICE killing of Renee Good. Let me just stop there. You get food poisoning at McDonald's. So you're like, that's it. Me and hundreds of protesters are going straight over to Wendy's, and we are going to protest because this is fucking wrong. Wrong. Like, you're in Santa Ana. Like, what are you protesting? Like, you're not at the right place. They're not all connected. I mean, isn't this what you're saying is like, not all Black people are blah, 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 or whatever? Like, but now you're going to treat like all ICE as blah, blah, blah. So during the protests, federal agents came out and attacked the protesters. It's called an arrest, and it's lawful. Arresting one, okay, she admits that, and shooting another. Did they just randomly shoot in the crowd? Oh, no, they didn't? Oh, they shot the guy that was like chasing them and had a megaphone swinging in the air over his head? Odd. And then this guy who's like a they, them, the guy who got shot in the eye, at point blank range. I mean, I thought men had problems with measurements, but it wasn't point blank range. It's unclear what he was shot with. Well, no doubt, sweetheart, if you were like maybe closer to the situation, a use of force report must have been done. He was then denied medical care by the feds and dragged into the federal building. Again, let's go back to this 405A lynching. You've got a crazed mob that are now attacking the police officers, but we're just going to stand there while the crazed mob like does crazy shit to us because he needs medical treatment right there? No, we're going to take him to a place that's safer. And he was under arrest anyway. So take him and you get a medical treatment. Luckily, Case survived, but now he's in the hospital. They need surgery on their eye and needs assistance with medical bills. I want to know what he does for a living anyway.
Nothing.
All funds will be donated into their bank account and go towards their medical expenses. He's a sad boy. I don't know if you watched. He's a they, them. Yeah, but of course he is. Totally, Rod. He seems like a very sweet, kind of feminine boy that doesn't really seem like the type that you would say would attack police. But there it is on camera. And I love that everybody was so distrustful over police and made everybody get body cams and all this stuff. It's great. It's really great because it's showing that, like, bro, you can't charge the dang police. Speaking of protesters and cash, though, Nick Shirley came out and said Renee Good wasn't even legally married to the woman who said drive, baby, drive before she hit the ICE officer and got shot. And so this girlfriend, Becca, has no claim to the son. So the son's father's parents have him. And Becca is now trying to claim the GoFundMe money. There was like $1.5 million for her. I don't know what it's at now. Maybe somebody knows. But it was at like $1.5 million. And hopefully it all goes to the little kid. Could you imagine if Drive Baby Drive gets that money after she was crying and saying, I didn't know they had real bullets? Like, this isn't a video game, you dumb fuck. Anyway, they were not married. She's not a widow. But now her family has hired an attorney to try to go after this GoFundMe money and the little boy from this woman. Oh, maybe that's the decedent's family is trying to protect the GoFundMe money.
Molly, the issue is they think this is all a video game. What do you guys call it? LARPing? I always hear you say LARPing.
Yeah, live action role play.
Live action. Yeah, yeah, like they think this is. I don't run up on cops. They have guns, and it's.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Nick Shirley says, also forgot to mention that the Drive Baby Drive lady is not a veteran. Nevertheless, a disabled veteran like she claimed to be in her video. So, well, what I wonder with the GoFundMe, though, so you give money, obviously the woman is dead, so I guess you're giving it to the family. It would depend on how GoFundMe was set up. If the GoFundMe says that this money goes to Drive Baby Drive, then I guess it doesn't really matter if they were married or not married. Then the money goes to Drive Baby Drive. I would think if I was giving money, it would be to her 6-year-old kid that she dumped at daycare so she could go attack the police. That kid needs a lot of money to pay for a brand new set of parents, is what he needs. But it sounds like he's with grandparents, and hopefully they're good, and hopefully they can raise this kid with some love and stability. Who else do we have that fucked around and found out this week? Oh, yeah, that guy with the shovel. Okay, again, with this lynching, because I want to stay on this 405A, because I really think that this is like everything. And I don't know if it's 405A in Minneapolis. You'll have to look it up. But, okay, ICE is chasing this guy. He's a known gang member, and he fled in his car. And he dumps the car, and he starts running towards the house. Now, as a police officer, how the hell would you know if that's his house, if it's the gang's house, his baby's mama's house, some fucking stranger's house, his friend's house that usually leaves the door unlocked? You have no idea. But you do know that you have a crime because you're trying to detain this guy or arrest this guy. And I don't remember what the original detention was. Maybe somebody does. And so anyway, they chase him onto the lawn, and they catch him before he goes into this poor person's house. And I do have a stupid story about that as well that had to do with a door check. But anyway, as he's scuffling with this guy who won't go willingly, 2 other dudes come out of this house, and they attack the officer. Officer's by himself. And 1-on-1, you are outnumbered. But now it's 3-on-1. They're attacking him with a snow shovel and a broom handle. And the officer was injured. He's in the hospital. And so, in fear for his safety, like we talked about, 835 APC, he fires his weapon, deadly force, shoots this guy in the leg. I don't know if he knew that he was shooting him in the leg or if that's all he could get to without shooting other people. This is the guy that he shot, who's in the ambulance. So anyway, he shoots this guy in the leg, and the guy gets into the house. Now, everybody's saying like, oh my God, and there were pregnant women in there, and that was his home. The cop has no idea who's in that home. The cop has no idea if that's his home or not. You're just fleeing into it. And depending on what he had, you could potentially have violent fleeing felon. But he knows that he has somebody fleeing into a home, and that can create exigent circumstances. So they are allowed to secure the location, because all three of those suspects went into that house. They secured the location and did a call out, barricaded suspect. Anyway, all three are in custody, and surprise, surprise, all three of them are illegal aliens. But what I wanted to talk about was there's this screaming, crying video from one of the women in the house as she's calling 911, saying that all these cops are out here. All the cops are out here. The cops are out here. And they're trying to get him, and we're scared. And they're like in the window. Like, if I'm scared of the police, I'm not in the window like this. Like, I'm in a bathtub. I'm out the back door with my hands up going like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but I just want out of this. Get me out of this house. So this exchange happens while she is on the phone with 911, which I thought was really telling, because the media is telling you this is his house and that's his family. But in that call, you will hear they're going through a car. Is that your car? And the guy says, like, what? She's like, they're going through a car out there. Is that car your car? Is that your car? Like, Randy, you have 75 cars, but I would know if we lived together, if that was your damn car pulled up on the freaking lawn. So they're family, but she doesn't know if he drives a car. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Anyway, there's a whole long, stupid thing about it.
Well, Molly, Mayor Fry or Frey or however he spells his name, he has the police chief read out what happened, and they left out so much. If you're an idiot, what he said sounds straight up. If you have a brain, it said the ICE agent runs into the house and he shoots the guy, and it's just like, yeah, the ICE agent just shot the guy. And this is allegedly, I'm just giving you the breakdown. I don't want this to get big and then we get sued in the future and they take one of my million cars. But anyways,
bring a tow truck, a flatbed.
So he says, you guys want local law enforcement to fight the feds. We've only got 600 officers. And it almost like he's kind of contemplating it. Like, maybe we could, had you not defunded the police, maybe your stupid idea of having local cops fight federal cops might be a good idea. But anyways, the way they presented it, I'm like, who's believing this? Like, ICE is just driving around, chasing people until they crash into a tree and then shooting them. Like, there's a whole lead up to that. I don't even disregard it. This stuff infuriates me because it's like, it's not police stuff. It's not illegal stuff. It's who has a brain and who doesn't.
Yeah. Well, and so speaking of no brain, so this girl, I won't give her name out because she clearly wants attention in this world, but just the most uninformed diatribe, goes on forever, but at any rate, in the video, the family is heard calling the police for help, saying ICE agents followed the man for about 30 minutes because he wouldn't pull over. Like, maybe your family doesn't know that you're an illegal alien, but they do know that they were chasing him for half an hour and now he's in the house. So an agent opened fire towards the house. Let me be clear about what that means. Law enforcement is not allowed to use lethal force just because someone runs. Violent fleeing felon, sweetie. Just want you to take a peek at that. And also, this was during the scuffle where your fucking brothers or whoever they are, your tios, are hitting him, a single cop by himself, with a snow shovel, which can cause serious bodily injury, and a broomstick, which would cause serious bodily injury. So I just want to tell the story just because I'm thinking about it. We do a door check on these kids. 2 of them run northbound. They go into a house. They're like wiggling on the door and they go into this house. Chinese kid and a black kid go into this house. White woman comes up at the balcony, 2nd floor. Officers, what's going on? Do you have any kids? No. 2 kids just went into your freaking house. And I don't know if they're like, if they have guns or whatever, but they just went into this lady's house. So we're going to like set up perimeter and this whole fucking thing and like lock your bedroom door, all this stuff. Are you sure you don't have kids? No. One of these kids was adopted and the other one's his shithole friend. They only had weed. But here it is a situation where these two dumb fucks, just for having weed, created a situation where I'm about to like put a perimeter on the house and gas these motherfuckers out of the house because we don't know if they're armed or not, but it's not normal to run from the police. Anyway, finally, this dumb girl comes down and the boys just had weed and she didn't give a shit because she doesn't care about her kid. She just bought him so he looks good at parties and all was good in the world. But then she says, law enforcement is not allowed to seize someone inside their home without a judicial warrant. Bro. Like, you're wrong. And absent extremely narrow circumstances. Oh, you mean exigent circumstances? One of the legal reasons to violate somebody's Fourth Amendment against search and seizure, called exigent circumstances. The shot was fired in the direction of the house with children inside. Listen, unless the house was made out of glass and there were like babies in the window, like I don't want to hear it. Nobody knows what's inside anybody's home at any time. My house has bunnies. I don't want my house being shot at. But then tell your dipshit brother, whoever this fucktard was, hey, if the police are chasing you, there's fucking kids in here. Take that shit elsewhere. Don't be fleeing into my house. You got pregnant women, a bunch of illegals, babies, whatever is going on in that house. Don't be fleeing into this house. He created that problem. But there's no responsibility here in this lady's tweet. It was
Molly,
not a split-second traffic stop. It could have been if he pulled over.
Molly, I wanted to add something. People think a hitman is like this super, like he dresses nice and he's smooth and he does all this other stuff. He has one thing going for him, the willingness to kill somebody. So some people don't understand about law enforcement and cops and all these people who are on the streets. They don't want to kill anyone. They really don't. There's so much hot mess that goes along with you shooting at somebody. It's not you come back to the station and we throw you a party and, oh, you really did it. And then you have birthday cakes on Saturday after you got in a shooting. It is a crap load of paperwork. And now you're super nervous. Am I going to lose my house? Is my wife going to leave me? Is my husband going to leave me? Am I going to be on the news? Am I going to jail? And these guys aren't stupid. They know they're in a liberal city. If I get in trouble here, I might be sharing a cell with whatever that other cop's name is. So this whole, oh, it's just a traffic stop and he just wanted to shoot. No, I don't know what they're watching. It's not fun. It's not a bunch of John Wicks on the police department or with ICE. 10 years, I think 20 years between us. Neither one of us has shot anyone. Had our guns pointed at people, but none of us have shot anyone. It's not, oh, Molly, that one time that I blasted that one guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think part of that is you've got people that are being arrested now by ICE that have had deportation orders since 2004, 2006, 2012. And it doesn't mean that if you have been breaking the law longer than somebody else was breaking the law. Oh, thank you for that, Rod. I was looking for that bunny and I couldn't find it. Anyway, in the chat. That are wanted for strong-armed sodomy of a little boy and strong-armed sodomy of a little girl and a whole host of other violent and sexual crimes against other people in this country. And and those Somali murderers that have had warrants out for them. So, but now everybody's focus is on these protesters. And I really do think that they need to be taken care of. There's a boldness now against police officers. Like, dude, even in my blue-haired hellion days, there's no way that I would have ever like fought the police or grabbed a shovel and hit a cop on the lawn, like, or like taking a picture like this, like after I was shot by the police. Just absolutely lack of awareness, lack of, of any kind of fear. Just, I've been getting away with shit for so long that I don't care. It's really terrible.
Well, you know, it's funny, Molly. Real gangsters, real criminals, people who are really in the life, they actually respect the game. Like, I crashed the car, cops gave me a whooping. I remember one guy, and he told our watchman, he said, "I fell. I didn't touch him." But he's like, and I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, "Would you like some water?" He's like, "No, not from your nasty ass sink or whatever." I said, "No, I will go get you my water because I can actually respect what you just did right there." Like, they know the game. Now it's, oh, I can do whatever I want, and if the cops mess me up or do whatever, I know I'm going to get 150,000 for my GoFundMe. And this is the fault of the media and all of the people who started this whole thing. They wouldn't be getting deported or shot or killed had you not voted for open borders. The borders weren't open. 20 to 30 million people coming in. That's not okay. Broken borders, and you voted for it and you supported it. Now fixing it is a problem because you idiot. On another planet, there's another Earth. I'm sorry. On another planet, there's an America where ICE is going in and there's no protesters and they're getting rid of them. I mean, I think it was 2010 Planet Earth where Obama was sending people to get people, and
Yeah.
no due
Nobody
process.
cared. Yeah.
There might have been due process. I don't know.
And I'm sure you watched the one in Minneapolis where they yanked the rifle locker out of the patrol vehicle.
Yep.
And then some dude, some Latin Kings game member with the tattooed face, just takes off with a rifle. Like, he was probably a prohibited possessor. I'm just saying. And ammo. And then some chick who she has those like eyes like Lon, what was his name? Not Lon Chaney. Who was the other one? Peter Lorre. Anybody over the age of 90 will know who Peter Lorre is. He was an old horror actor. Oh, you see my Ghastly Graves shirt? I did Graves. She doxed these officers like live on Facebook Live or whatever with their names and all this stuff. And I have a picture of her, but you can't really tell. But she looks like Peter Lorre to me. She's got those like fetal alcohol syndrome eyes.
So you know what these people are creating, right? So all of these ICE officers have family, friends, community. Then you have it. You don't matter, and I don't matter. The chat doesn't matter. Normal people are seeing this, and they're like, "I don't think I'm going to vote for." And if I was a Democrat, I would say, "Stop this! You guys are creating more Trump voters and more right wingers and more conservatives because they're seeing when we're in charge, this is the nonsense that we get up to."
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, Pam Bondi has deployed federal prison guards in riot gear to protect Department of Homeland Security agents in Minneapolis. Randy, if you were going to a protest, would you rather have street cops be on the line or some prison guards that haven't been outside the walls in years? Like,
so street cops all day long. Another thing that no one realizes, ICE is actually not trained for what's going on. So you guys are putting yourselves, Molly and I, gun safety training, traffic stop training. And I'm not saying they're not trained at all, but I'm saying every single day was a training day for street cops. Riot officers, oh, I get to knock some heads. Biden is not in there. They're not going to just back off and say, "You know what, you guys win." It's going to keep getting this bad. And
well, it's going to keep getting this bad when we're allowing people to be absolutely lawless. Good, Red Bike. I knew that somebody would know who Peter Lorre is. And also, Pammy said that Waltz and Frey are officially under federal investigation. Listen, Pammy, I don't want to get blackpilled on you, but I'm not impressed by those, like, under investigation. We're going to have a committee. Like, no. Until they're booked into the Gray Bar Hotel, I'm not going to celebrate at all.
Yeah, it's a big reason why I'm not Mr. Oh, are you right wing? No, because nothing ever happens to these people. These people are caught red-handed. It's like, let's give them a break. And oh, Molly, I did want to say one thing. So, with the advent of AI, facial recognition, gate software, and all this, they are trapping you guys. There's going to come a day where AI can access all of this information, and they're going to be like, "Yep, John Smith, you were the one who stole that ICE officer's gun. Yep, you're the one that was impeding the blah blah blah." And the same people who love lawlessness, is going to come back to bite you guys in the behind. Dude, protest. I want you to protest. I protested.
But isn't that why they're all wearing the, like, everything so you can't see jack shit?
Yeah. So they have software that's beginning to learn how to read this, and it tracks how you walk, like your gait. So, I'm like you. I'm kind of black pill, but why even risk it? Why in 2030? Oh, there's been charges brought up against you for something that you were involved in a few years ago.
One, I would never be hooking a strap to anything in an officer's vehicle and trying to yank it out. But it's funny that you say that, because Waltz was saying, you guys, you need to have your phone on you at all times. You need to be documenting these ICE officers. You need to be, like, getting us good information for prosecutions, because he wants to prosecute ICE and not the fucking rioters. And I just thought, like, the people that are watching this are going to be dumb enough to be like, yeah, we've got to have our traceable devices on us at all times, guys. Like, that can be used against you, little rioters. Like, your phone was at this location at this date and time. I'm just saying. And you do, like, a little Snapchat map, or you do a data dump from a cell tower, and now I have you in the area of the shooting. I think that could go against your little riot, but...
Well, at day's end, Molly, I don't care how you feel about ICE. I don't care how you feel about illegals. You are not, and not you, but if you're doing all this, you're defending all of these bigwigs' ability to get these billions of dollars. Yeah, but he's on my party, and here's the ideology they told me to swallow. You are defending them getting billions of dollars. And it's the enemies, the left's enemies are who's getting this money. The patriarchy, all the rich white men, all the people these people I hate. You're making sure they get those billions of dollars.
Right, because all this is doing, you want to defund the police, they've all been forced into overtime now that you've doubled their paychecks. Like, so there's that. And I used to tell my gangsters, it's like, if you want less cops coming up and down your fucking street, like, stop selling drugs on the corner. Like, have people come into your house. Like, you're the ones who keep spray painting shit, letting everybody know what gangs are here. Like, there's a reason why the Asian gangs, at least in terms of Los Angeles, are super underground. They're not tagging shit. You don't have, like, Asian boys, like, on the corner of, like, 3rd and New Hampshire. They run their little circuits, and they're very underground, and they don't get as much patrol there in Koreatown. But, yeah, I mean, all this is doing is putting more cops on the street. They're hiring more officers now. And it's like, if you want to put cops out of business, stop breaking the law. Like, just stop breaking the law.
Well, here's another thing. Imagine you're an illegal, and these idiots are just bringing all of this attention to you. Like, you're like, I just want to work in this restaurant. I just want to bring my family here from whatever country I came from. I'm here illegally. But these a-holes are burning the flag and going in police pursuits. And they're just bringing all of this friggin' attention to me. Imagine that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I feel bad for these cities where people just, like, show up in front of these businesses, and it's like, oh man, and you're just going to be like honking and doing all this crazy shit in front of my business. Like, people aren't going to want to come and like eat at my restaurant while this like whole melee is going down right now. So now you're like affecting your community that you care about so much as you're blowing that red light. Like, you're devaluing the community by like creating all of this, like these blips on the map. And did you see these kids? So this high school was released.
Oh, and they started fighting
to the Minnesota State Capitol. Yeah, did you watch that?
Yeah, let's let the kids out of school because it's dangerous to go to class, but let's bring them right to where the ICE protests are, and they start fighting each other. It's like we live, Molly. This is a dream. You're gonna call me one day. I'm gonna wake up, and you're gonna say you're late for work, and I'm gonna tell you, Molly, you're not gonna believe the dream I had. What? What happened?
Well, so first I wonder, because I just think about it like from my mom's perspective, like, did they get these parents to sign a waiver that your minor child is going to like the crime hub? Oh my God. My mom would be down there wringing everybody's necks. These are children and they're just like involved in a fight. Well, okay. In a related story, I feel that it's important for you to realize that Minneapolis public high school students are only 27% proficient in math and 35% proficient in reading. In high school. So like, what's the point? And I guess like, I mean, I don't have kids, but if I had a kid and they're just using them as a pawn, and you see these babies that are being taken to protests as some sort of like you can't shoot me in the eye with a rubber bullet because I'm holding a baby. And now these teachers are taking kids out of school when they're already fucking retards and saying like, you know, here's a sign. I put it in English for you. Carry that and you carry this one and let's all go. And like, where are these parents of these children? I mean, because these parents should have a civil suit against, like, why are you taking my kid out of school? Because they're public schools. So they get paid by the property taxes, by the government for attendance. That's why they're always so crazy about attendance. You have to have a thing. They don't really care if you're there or not. They just want to get paid for you being there. And so your kid wasn't in school. None of them were in school. I don't know who does bean counting and stuff like that. We need an Ian Carroll on the thing to find out how many of those kids were marked in class that day when they sure as shit weren't in class, because that school better not get a damn dollar for that day.
If I was in the cartel or even the CIA, and this is just me being silly, I would get anti-protesters to go and break up protests, because if you're in the cartel, it's your money getting messed with. Like, people are seeing this and they're like, nope, no more illegal. Whatever it is they're doing, it's not working. Like, you're turning public sentiment against you guys. Yeah, I would stop these guys from doing. They think this stuff is working. You're making more ICE agents. You're making more people. Like, you know me, Molly. I have a lot of heart for these people. I'm like, geez, you're here. This is going on. But when you're like, no, you can't tell people who are raping people and murdering people to leave, and you can't stop corruption, and you can't stop fraud. That's where I'm like,
right.
I'm like, your mom, party's over. Everybody out.
Strong-armed sodomy of a little kid.
Yeah. Oh, Molly, I was laughing because imagine you buy a house, and I always see the houses in the back where the riot, let's stop calling it protest, where the riot is going on, and you're like, oh my God, I just bought a house here. And those houses have to be like $16,000.
Oh, is it bad? Is it ugly? Is it like Detroit?
Dude, they're having like a war outside of your house. It's like microphones, people losing eyes, people getting shot in front of your house. And it's not crime related, it's stupidity related. Like, what are you doing? If they're dangerous, they're dangerous. why? I don't go to the alligator petting zoo. I don't do extreme sports.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that they're dangerous, but also, like, I don't stick my finger in the cage. So you can't argue it both ways. Oh, this is so dangerous. The holes in this cage shouldn't be this big. And like you have your hand in the cage and your finger gets bit. See, I told you. Like have some awareness. Hey CJ, running way behind. Well, welcome. Circle of One says, Molly, tell people to like this video or the bunnies will come for them. My bunnies aren't coming for anyone. But if you'd like to like the video, we always appreciate it. I love earning my 27 cents per episode. It's so good. I should do a screenshot of it because literally the average was like 27 cents. And guys, if you're watching us, we are like on Rumble. We're 2 away from 500 subscribers. Rod, here's another $10 for the new camera. Oh, if you say this camera's better, I'm just going to get another one of these cheap cameras for Randy. If this camera's good, then this is what I'm going to get for my bestie over there. And then we'll be able to see what you really look like. Gag. Couple other little news stories. Did you watch the, it was so funny. Oh wait, here, I'll give you a little meme while I'm queuing that up. Oh my God. ICE detains a 2-time child rapist illegally in the country. 55-year-old lib white woman. I don't know why I think that's so funny, but it's pretty good.
No, that's actually real. That's real. I mean,
yeah, it is real.
They don't want any.
I don't know how I didn't have. Don't listen to Molly. Listen to the thump, thump, thump of the bunnies coming for your soul. Those buns, I don't even know where they are right now. Oh, they're just sleeping. They sleep like smashed together. They can't be more than 2 inches apart. It's just the cutest thing. Thank you, Rod. I didn't get the. Well, here. This came from that same riot where they stole the cop's gun and doxed him and stuff. Okay, so I want to talk about this. Well, first let's talk about this guy. Police officer, he had 18 years on the job. And I'm sorry, guys, but in all my little notes that I threw all over the floor already, I don't remember what state he worked in. But he was murdered by an illegal alien. And I'm trying to read his patch. St. Louis. Oh, St. Louis. St. Louis, as an aside, has the greatest zoo. This beautiful city. So this guy worked there for 18 years, and he was killed by an illegal alien. And nobody gives a shit. Black Lives Matter isn't on this. Nobody's caring about the violent crime in St. Louis. And anyway, sir.
Oh, Molly. So a white woman was shot and killed by law enforcement as well in that same area where Good was shot and killed. You want to know why no one in the chat or yourself doesn't know about it? The police officer was a Somali cop, and the lady was the one who called the police, and she's running up to say, I believe somebody was in the house or she was robbed or something. He's in the passenger seat, reaches over his partner and shoots the lady. Because it doesn't fit the narrative, much like the murder you just told us about, the mainstream media, and I know Rose Distillard is like, Randy's such a gentle, kind bear. I hate the media with everything inside of me. If there's one thing that disgusts me and that if I could get rid of, it'd be the American media. They're such a disgusting part of America. So anyways,
I think it's so important to debunk what they're telling you versus what really happened, or
Molly,
what their impression of the law is versus what the law really is.
They don't believe in the truth. They believe in their narratives and their ideologies and what they believe. So if a woman gets murdered, oh well, protect women, not today. Black Lives Matters, not today. They don't care about any of the things they say they care about. And it's 90% of the media.
And so why do you think that people don't see that. Why do you think that these like Karen screeching women don't say, guys, what about, I thought we said Black Lives Matter. What about
They,
this one?
they have a 2 week attention span. You and I remember a few weeks, maybe a month ago, when I think it was whatever her name was talking about the genes. Oh my God, the genes. And then Venezuela and then Iran. And then, so they have a belief for this week and then next week. Because when law enforcement was doing a bunch of shady crap to us during the pandemic, that's why I'm not an absolutist. They were shooting rubber bullets at people on their porch. Get back in your house. I'm not standing for that. I don't think that's
Yeah.
cool. Shutting down churches, I don't think that's cool. Show me your papers. Your vaccine, standing with Big Pharma, ripping blue line flags out of people's hands. So I'm not an absolutist. If cops are doing the wrong thing, I'm not with it. But we, the people, voted for all of that nonsense. So I'm not going to go fight cops. Now people have voted to send these people back home. Okay, we're going to respect, because you guys are the ones who keep saying, oh, threat to democracy, threat to democracy. If
Right.
we,
Fascists.
yeah, people voted for it. That's what they voted for.
Well, so show me your papers and all that stuff. There was a funny clip where this guy was in Minneapolis and he had rented some kind of white SUV with tinted windows, and they came up to him and they were just like swarming him and not letting him go and saying, like, you have to prove that you're not ICE. We need to see your ID. We need to see inside the back of the vehicle. Where are your papers? And so then this fucking, oh, I have a picture of her. This Karen comes out, just exactly what you'd think. Middle-aged, unattractive, looks like she hasn't had a good date in a while. And she says, I'm not vetting you, but I did see him here yesterday as well. And he opens the back of his hatch and he's like, look, I don't even have to do this for you. Like, I just I don't want any problems. I have a lot of camera equipment, everything. I'm not ICE. Well, we just need to know. We need to know what you're doing. We need to, because, blah, blah, blah. Like, where are your papers? What is your purpose? Like, you are trying to do like a citizen's detention because you don't like lawful detentions. It's just, the irony is not lost on me. And anyway, that lady said that she was like a business owner there and they were demanding this guy's identity.
Well, last week you brought up Chop Chaz, because they had to change the name. They were like, no borders, no rules. It was all bordered up. For you to get in there, they wanted to see ID. No guns, turn in your weapons and blah. They had all kinds of guns. Black Lives Matters. I think they shot 4 people. All of them were black. I want to say the 14-year-old and maybe the 19-year-old died. No coverage. No one covered it. I think Fox News was the only one who covered it. Brought the father of the 19-year-old on. And he said, the other news stations won't even talk to me. So at the end of the day, these people are they're full of crap. They're led by whatever comes out from the media that Monday or Friday, and they just run with it until the next story comes out. Oh,
yeah.
Diddy ran out of oil. Oh, that's a new story? Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, it's like with the Renee Good shooting. Oh, he should have gotten out of the way. Well, why should he have gotten out of the way and not the protester that ran straight into a less lethal munition? Like, how come the kid with the eye that got shot, how come you weren't like, well, you should have gotten out of the way? Like, there's no consistency. If you can run away from a vehicle that's like 2 feet from you, then why are you running at a gun that's pointed at your face? It's Circle of One says, that's a good point, Randy. Every single one of these narratives is a lifespan of about 24 to 72 hours, and then it's never mentioned again. Well, it's never mentioned again, I think, because once all this other auxiliary information comes out, like, they weren't married, and she did say drive baby drive, and she is wanted for child abuse of putting out cigarettes, and blah 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 blah. Then it's just like, oh my gosh, look over here. I think that's because they can't face the reality of it. It's like when the whole COVID thing was going down, and they were saying it's safe and effective, and you were just like, okay, but you had a seizure and you had this. My work is perfect example. The pressure that we had, because we weren't doing it, the few of us that didn't. And then it was like, but I mean, like, you have a thyroid condition now, and you have Hashimoto's and internal scleroderma and Graves' disease, and now you have cancer. Oh, now it's 4 kinds of cancer. And like all the stuff, and like nobody would just admit, like, it was just, now it's just not spoken about. Nobody gives a shit that I didn't take it. And I saw something the other day, I don't know if it was Peter McCullough, but he was saying how like 20% of the population like didn't take it, of American population didn't take it. And like more of us are healthy now than the people who did. But like for these people that are sick and they've lost loved ones, it's heartbreaking. I'm not trying to like rub anything in anybody's face. Like, I'm just a skeptic about everything. And that's why I didn't do it. This time I was right.
Well, to circle one's point, they know once the initial whatever story comes out, oh, Molly, drinking out of glass cups is bad for you. They know there's a certain part of society that's like, oh, they said drinking out of, and there's nothing you can do now. Now they're like, no, glass is bad. Don't. Because I'll talk to people about COVID, and they're like, that didn't happen. Open borders, oh, that didn't happen. Defund the police, oh, that didn't happen. And I'm like, now you're making me feel crazy, because I'm like, I lived through all of that.
Yeah.
So it's every whatever week. Because, okay, in 3 years from now, they're going to be like, we weren't attacking ICE agents.
Right. That wasn't us. They were attacking us. I do want to read. This is the Blue Line magazine. I don't know if the Thin Blue Line, I don't know if everybody can get it. I end up usually reading it at least a month late. Because I don't really want to know who's died this month. After seeing my best friend, Monica Redder, in this, it's a little bit. And then they've got great, I don't know that this is a public magazine, but it's done by the league, I think, the LAPPL. And you can see like who's having babies and who got a good caper and who got a good arrest and who got guns and who got married and stuff. It's pretty cool, and it's set up. But they've got some articles in it as well. And I was just going through it today. And they were talking about this officer did an article on officer-involved shootings, OIS. And so OIS data... So I'll just read it really quick. I can read. I didn't go to Minneapolis public school. If we want to understand the outcome of any use of force, we must understand what our officers encountered during the incident. Based off LAPD data, of the 34 officer-involved shootings, our officers were consistently put into dangerous, violent situations. Consider the following. Armed suspects. In nearly 90% of these shootings, 30 of 34, our officers faced lethal threats where the suspect was armed with a firearm, a realistic replica or realistic pellet gun, or a knife. So 30 of 34. Then take the people who've got a shovel, a vehicle, we had one lady try to attack us with a floor lamp. She was naked. We tased her. It was a whole thing. Officers taking gunfire. In 1 out of every 4 officer-involved shootings, approximately 26%, our officers were shot at by the suspect. 65% of OAS incidents, the suspect had a firearm our officers were shot at. In 1 out of every 4 officer-involved shootings, officers were responding to a call where a citizen had been injured by the suspect, including 3 cases where the victim had died. And officers encountered a suspect suffering from mental illness 26% of the time, of those incidents, 4 or nearly half of the 9 are considered potential suicide by cop scenarios. And why do people get shot by the police? There's a good question to start with. Answer, they're armed. A 6-year national study conducted by researchers at the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions examined over 10,000 officer-involved shootings from 2015 to 2020, determined that 84% of all suspects shot by the police were armed with a firearm or another type of weapon, such as a knife or a vehicle. So it's not a good time to be a cop, I gotta say. I think that we were cops at the last best time for it. And I'm really glad I made detective when I did, because I wouldn't have wanted to be on the street while they were doing the whole body cam thing. They were sort of working out the kinks with the body cam, saying, okay, you were flying code 3, which is lights and sirens, to this radio call. Someone's getting stabbed. And as you're flying down the street, lights and sirens, all the cars get out of the way. And then some transient comes in front of your car and you're like, fuck you. And you go around him dude, you almost caused a crash because you cursed at the community. With all my windows closed, the hobo didn't even know I fucking... So they were burning officers that were doing stuff like that. Nothing ever happened to me. But I was out of the field as a detective, I think, just as body cameras first started. And they were yelling at me because I was using up too much battery, because I was just recording everything. I don't want to not record. If we're all going to this recording shit, then just record everything I do. Record me piss. I don't care. I'm not doing anything wrong. That's why you got to give tickets if you're an officer.
Well, Molly, policing died when policing started getting viewed as, oh, these are the oppressors and the community is it's not the community. We're protecting the community and the bad apples within the community. But because you think, oh, all Black people are criminals and all immigrants are illegal, all trans want to go in a woman's room. And I don't mean you, I mean these morons who think like this. And to me, they're the actual racists. They're the transphobes. They're the sexist woman haters. They just think, oh, you're arresting that woman who murdered her kids. You must hate women. No, crazy. So yeah, policing died when you and I, people ask all the time, you wouldn't go back? Hell no.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I miss it fucking every day. I know you and I both have a lot of regrets about where our careers ended up, but I don't miss what it is now. I wouldn't.
Molly, here's something you are correct about. There is no police presence where I live. None. And I've been here about 16 years and I've seen the cops maybe 20 times. I can go to LA and see the cops 20 times right now. Reason being is these are families and these are people who aren't pro-criminal, and they're not oh, let's go do some drugs and go outside and get wild. A few of the families turn their music up too loud, but if you don't want cops and you don't want ICE and you don't like any of these people, it's so easy to just not be a retard. You can't calm yourself down.
Yeah, I think also, though, you live in a community of owners and you guys take ownership of your shit, and it's not a community of renters. You don't have a bunch of Airbnbs and a bunch of transient people coming and going. You guys kind of have your shit on lockdown. You know your neighbors and they know you. And right now, with the economy being kind of crappy, a lot of people are renting their houses out, renting parts of their house out, stocking a bunch of people in. This house that this guy ran into, I counted no less than 7 billion people, including babies, that were in that fucking house. And it's called a clown house. And that's just an LA thing. Although I think that was Santa Ana, or maybe that was Minneapolis. I don't remember where it was. But Southern California is full of those clown houses, clown apartments. First apartment I ever moved into was a punk house. It was an apartment in Van Nuys off Parthenia and Roscoe. Total shithole. And we rented the living room to the bass player for Downcast. I shared a bed with some dude who was like 20 years older than me. Like, I am not proud. And my rent was like $74.50 a month.
Well, Molly, there was Porsche Boys in Hollywood. And it was like 9 of them renting a 2-bedroom. And how it worked was all of us guys, all 9 of us would go out and we'd give the one guy, well, not me, but they'd give the one guy the Porsche and he'd go pick up girls and then he'd have the room to himself. And it's like 8 guys in the other bedroom. So it looks like,
Trying not to giggle.
so it
Daring
looks
each
like
other
here's
to
this
put
rich
notes over
guy
the door.
and they're just like, no, can I go out and get a waffle? Yeah, good times.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it wasn't as hard to be poor when you're young. I was watching something the other day, and there was somebody who hung a plastic regular grocery bag off the handle in their kitchen. And they were just doing a video about, something or other, whatever. And I just remember being there. I remember not owning a trash can for so many years. For so many years, I slept on the floor, on a wood floor. This was in Sun Valley, when we lived off of Vineland in some other rat hole house with 700 people in it. It was me and my Star Wars sleeping bag on a wood floor. Like, how do my limbs still move? I just don't even, I kind of miss that simplicity. Also, of just not that dread, because now at our age, like, the economy is shit, but now we feel like we have to own a bed and like all this stuff. And like putting this house together, and really I should do an update on the house because I've gotten a lot of headway in here. But
Well, another scary thing is you have politicians and people in power who would love to knock your neighbor's house down and move pirates and rapists right next to you. And they think that's progressive.
yeah.
So
Yeah, one of the firefighters at work, he has a whole wetland behind him, and they've owned the house for a decade, and now they want to put 260 townhomes, nuts to butts, behind him, and the structure will be like 44 inches from the property line. Like, so basically, like, we've enjoyed this beautiful wetland, and now you want to put a structure on this wetland, and so that I can hear their toilet flush and smell their dinner every night. Like, no. Because not only is it bad for the wetland and like bad for us, like, we've all been like homeowners, and like, we don't want 240 renters. Because what does that mean? You know, as a cop, it means cars getting broken into, people hopping the fucking fence, like people parking in your driveway. You know everything that happens when you turn homeownership into renters. Because because from when I lived in Koreatown, you would never park on my block with all of my renter assholes. You park in front of the Korean homeowners' houses because your shit's not going to get broken into there. And it's a walk, but your car's safer. And Pammy says, y'all see the video about a female Uber Eats driver was being followed by ICE when she ran into the family that ordered the food house. The homeowner called 911, but refused to open the door. Well, I got to say, I wouldn't open my door if the Amazon guy, well, I don't order Amazon. I might be the only person without an Amazon account. It's part of my Amish charm. I don't think I would let somebody in my home. I don't know if they want you for murder or for aggravated whatever, or I don't think that I would just let somebody into my house. I don't know. That said, I won't dox, but there's a bus stop near-ish my house. And I told one little girl, like, you have your mom call me, because any day you want, you come on my porch and you hang out. You wait for the bus here. This is safe. Have your mom cover it, though, because I want your mom to know where you are. But this girl, this tiny little thing, was just like hanging out in the corner like a prostitute. And she's like, And there was some like creepy guy coming down the road, and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't want her just standing there. I want her to know that she always has a place to run to if she needs to, and I want her mom to know me so that her mom's okay. And but yeah, I don't know that I would let the little girl. Well, if I saw a little girl like running to obviously I've already seen. I know where she lives. I met her grandma. I met the dog. I didn't meet mom yet, but obviously I would let her in. But just some like Uber Eats person, I don't think I would let them in my house, because also there's always people. You see these burglary suspects that just like show up at the door and they're like, "Oh, I'm pregnant. I just need a glass of water. Like, can I use your phone?" Like all these ruses to get into your house so that the door opens and then the other three guys come in.
I can't remember the Zetas, Los Zetas. So they had an entire female part of their gang, and they would seduce you and murder you. So all these people who like open borders, maybe that might be one of the gangs. And oh my God, Molly, I met this beautiful girl, and she's coming over to. Oh, who are these other 9 guys with her? So yeah, good times.
Rod says Joe Rogan was saying it'd be really easy for people to pretend to be ICE agents and do really bad things. I totally agree with that. I'm not saying that these ICE agents should just pull people over and you should pull over. But I guess we're at 2 hours, so we're done here this week. But I would say if you're being pulled over by the police, by any police, whether it's ICE or anybody, so there is a thing that they can call, which is clear, which basically says like, hey, I'm about to go do some enforcement action at this place. And so that other officers know, so that dispatch knows, because if there's like 5 people stacked up on my garage and it's the feds coming because of tax evasion or whatever, or an out-of-state murder or something, and I call 911 and I go, there's like 5 guys with guns outside, and 911 says, hey, LAPD, are you going to Molly's house? And they're like, no, we're not there. And so it was creating what they call blue on blue shootings. So there's a system called Clear, and you call and you go, hey, we're going to be outside our area. We're going to be here. We're going to be doing this warrant. And then you call and you clear yourself after you're done. The thing that I really worry about with these ICE agents is they're federal officers. So they might be in Randy's town today and my town tomorrow. They don't have a uniform style of dress. Not that that always works. I mean, I still have my LAPD uniforms. I would love to sell them, but I don't want to sell them to some fucking like terrorist on the internet who's going to use them for some nefarious purpose. So can you call 911 and wait for backup? Absolutely. So if you call 911, the problem with that is that it is going to take some time for them to verify if these are federal officers. So what you need to do is say, somebody's trying to pull me. And this happens all the time, especially in LA. There was some guy in Hollywood that had an old Crown Vic that was like pulling over bitches and like trying to get phone numbers and stuff.
I didn't mean to.
And so you can call 911, but if you call 911 and say, somebody's trying to pull me over, it's an unmarked vehicle, I don't feel safe, that's totally fine. Whether you're an illegal alien, legal, whatever, doesn't matter. You have the right to be able to call 911 and say, somebody's trying to pull me over, or somebody's at my door and they say that they have a warrant, or they say that they need to talk to me. I want to confirm with your local 911 that these are the real cops. And if she says, I don't see anybody in your area, or we don't know anything about it, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's fraudulent. But to protect yourself, I would say, then I need an officer here while I make contact. Like, I need somebody friendly. I need my local police to be here while this person is trying to pull me over, or this person is trying to get me to open my door. Because there have been times when I've been at a radio call and it's been somebody that's like afraid, like, I don't know if you're the real police or not. Well, call 911. And then they'll say, yeah, that's the real police at your door. And then they'll open the door, like if they were scared because they heard somebody outside or whatever. So you're saying to floor it. Listen, Circle of One, stop getting people.
Well, Molly, I'm going to go big picture, because I agree with you, Rod. Like, So now we have this problem. The way to combat it next time for 2026 and 2028, do not vote for the people that created this. Just didn't just start. This is a problem that they created. Go ahead, 30 million people, come on into the country. And if some of you want to kill a few women on your way in, cool. So now we have this problem. So please don't vote for it next time.
Yeah. I mean, we really have to be, we got to be careful about voting. Because I think the time is done where we're just going to like automatically vote by party. I mean, this is the black pill in me.
Yeah.
But dude, if I was in LA right now, Tish Hyman would get my vote. Absolutely. Because you forget politics, forget that she's a D and you're an R or whatever. She's got smarts and she gives a shit and she's not afraid of being vocal and she's not afraid of doing the right thing and she's not afraid of calling people out on doing the wrong thing. I think she's a really good candidate to be a leader. And I would totally vote for her.
And Molly, I'm not an absolutist with any of this stuff. I think, okay, ICE, you did this wrong, I'll call it out. Right wing, you guys did this thing wrong, I'll call it out. Illegals, I like that you're doing whatever it is you might be doing. I don't just sit here and say, well, illegal's bad, ICE good, or ICE good, or ICE bad. Or, everyone has to get out of that frame of mind because, like you just said, if I could, I don't live in LA, I would also vote for her. But she's a Democrat. Doesn't matter. I'm not registered anything. I'm America. I live in America. So super simple.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just see. We'll see. And also, I've been looking a lot at RFK because he's getting the fluoride out of the water, and the jabs are way down from what they were before. And I don't know, guys. Like, I voted for Trump 3 times, but if RFK ran next time around, that guy he is not sitting on his butt. He is not like, well, I got the job, I don't need to do the work now. He really is doing some good stuff.
I would have voted for Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's just insane, people. It's not. Listen, I'm in LA. I talk to liberals and leftists all the time. They're not an issue. It's these extremists, and they have way too many extremists.
Yeah, I think. Always the problem inherent in an independent candidate is that it really is a 2-party system. But it's a 2-party system because they think you're not going to leave your party. And I think we have to be a lot more vocal in saying, like, we're not the whole vote blue no matter who. They're on board with that shit. As independents, conservatives, Republicans, rabble-rousers, whatever we are, we're not down with that. We're not going to just vote for you just because you have an R next to your name because it's not a D. Like, I don't care. I'll vote for a D if it's Tish Hyman for sure. RFK is also trying to stop the chemtrails. Thanks, Rod. Yeah, I mean, the guy is working. And honestly, I think like Randy's saying that we would be like 90s liberals. Like, I mean, he's a 2026 conservative, really. I mean, to me, he really is cleaning shit up. And I think ultimately he is doing what we voted for. And Trump has done some things we voted for, but then it's like billions of dollars being just like jacked off all over the globe. And like, where my credit card is maxed. Like, I can't get a renter that's not going to be a 911 call at some point. And like, I really am trying. And once I get the house done, like, I'll probably get a weekend job at like the hardware store or something really glorious, just to make ends meet. And there's no shame. I mean, I worked 3 jobs in my life before, so 2 won't kill me. But RFK, he's working hard. And I think that should be rewarded. I want to know where he wants to go because, like with Tish Hyman, like I really support what they're doing. See you later, alligator. Pammy says, hope y'all have a wonderful and safe weekend. Thanks, Pammy. That was a perfect exit for tonight. Randy,
you,
love you, dude. Thanks for hanging out. I'm
love
sure
you.
that I will yak with you tomorrow.
Thank you, Chad.
And yeah. And I am Molly Sleuth at gmail.com. And also, we're like too short for getting 500 followers on Rumble. So if you guys want to hang out with us, tell me to fuck myself. It's all good. I like it all. Thanks, Rod. Thanks, Circle of One. Last call for liking this video. They could like it not on the live chat too.
Well, Molly, two seconds. Yeah. Chat, if you ever think we're saying something that you don't agree with, put it in there. We welcome.
Yeah. I've replied to every comment, even when they're blank comments. I don't know why, but Chris has been leaving comments lately that are blank. I don't know if he's leaving emojis or like what, but it's like a blank comment. And I don't know, but I do reply to everybody and email, whatever. I'm not too cool. I'm still getting 27 cents per episode.
And you're all welcome on the show too, Molly. Right?
Well, we'll see about that.
Well, not.
I want to talk about my gaping asshole. All right, Randy, this one's yours.
All right.
All right, love you, dude.
Love you later.
And thanks, everybody. I will see you next Friday.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.